Well, Christians, you're going to be really excited to hear this. Church and state are no longer separated. Yeah, you heard it here. Maybe not first, but you heard it here. So Pam Bondi, the so-called Attorney General, who has not really much in the way of relevant experience to be an Attorney General, is hosting the first task force meeting to eradicate anti-Christian bias in the federal government. So, yeah, there's no anti-Muslim bias eradication, no anti-atheist bias eradication, no anti-agnostic, no anti-Hispanic. No, that's not a religion. Well, anyways, you get what I mean, right? The only DEI that America is providing is for Christians. Yeah, I'm sure you're all very happy because now DEI, which was a bad word after Trump, well, before Trump took office, because people don't know the difference between DEI as it relates to protecting people from persecution because Christians are attacking them, for example, and DEI where unfair employment practices and hiring practices are being used. They don't understand that they're two different things. So it all gets lumped together, and the good gets thrown out with the bad, the baby with the bathwater. I can speak. It's just didn't sleep well last night, so you'll have to forgive me if I mix things up a bit. So under Executive Order 14202, Trump established the task force. And some people who supposedly are being persecuted include the Cornerstone Church, which was under investigation and charged by the IRS for so-called Johnson Amendment violations. And they are being represented by Senior Pastor Gary Hamrick. And he previously led the Alliance Defending Freedom. I really am having trouble speaking. Which is was previously called the Alliance Defense Fund, the Alliance Defending Freedom, the Alliance Defense Fund, is an American conservative Christian legal advocacy group that works to expand Christian religious liberties and practices within public schools and in government. Now, that sounds to me like DEI of the type where it's the favoritism that Trump hates. But apparently, this is okay when it comes to the Christians, because despite the fact that no one Christian sect is dominant in this country versus the number of people who are no longer Christians or no longer religious, such as myself, because I'm smarter than that. I guess you guys go back to getting the special treatment you got most of my life and before I was alive. Because if you look at the history of America, despite what the founding fathers did to separate church from state, because they were very afraid of theocracy, they were very afraid of monarchy rearing its ugly head in this country. And the only way to separate it was fight divine right and fight the ability of theocratic leaders from becoming political leaders. Which is why, of course, Mike Johnson is the head of the House Speaker, because, he is a Christian, and clearly Christians are disadvantaged horribly since Mike Johnson is only the head speaker or the lead speaker or the senior speaker or whatever of the House of Congress. Yeah, that's you poor Christians. I feel so bad for you. Yeah. Almost every president that in my life has been pro-Christian. Almost every president in my life has been biased towards helping Christians in preference to other groups, except for And this is because of the Old Testament, I would presume, and also some kind of a blood money thing between Israel and America, where America helps Israel commit genocide. So I'm really struggling with this here because, Trump and Musk were talking before the election about how they were going to protect the Constitution. And what I'm seeing is over and over and over again, Trump is violating the Constitution. Musk is violating federal laws. So Trump has trampled on free speech. If you're a foreigner talking about Palestine, you lose your visa, you get kicked out of the country. If you're coming from a foreign country and you're an American or you're a foreigner but you look Hispanic, you're going to be detained at the border. You may be imprisoned. Yeah. So there's that. There's freedom of the press, freedom of law firms to do their work without being persecuted by the government. That's out the window. And all kinds of other things. Not to mention him blaming Zelensky because Zelensky won't give up Crimea, which belongs to Ukraine, and Russia stole it. So why would Zelensky give up land that Russia stole? No, Trump's got it wrong. Russia refuses to return Crimea to Ukraine, and that is why there's no peace. Because of Putin, who is a real poo-poo head. But getting back to the topic, I realize you folks feel like you're persecuted, that your life is so difficult. But the truth of the matter is that your lives are easier. You have unified groups that help each other. I have been the beneficiary of help from Christian groups. My sister's church, which I am not a part of and never would be, but they gave me food when I was recovering from surgery. Thank you very much. You have a type of unity that a lot of us don't enjoy. You have a support network. And you're not satisfied with all these things. You're not satisfied with all the money that you have arrayed behind you. You're not satisfied with the fact that the embassy got moved by President Trump in his first term, I think, to Bethlehem, was it? You're never satisfied with all the things you've got that the rest of us don't have. And yet, here's the crux of the problem. The things that you're so angry about now are largely because of your repressive behavior towards the rest of us. All these young people who have come out as gay and come out as lesbian and come out as bi and trans and pan and all these other things, and then they're doing these yearly pride parades. Do you know why they do that? It's called rebellion. Do you know why they felt they have to rebel in such a very, very visceral way? Because you persecuted them when they came out to you. You told them that they were sinning. You told them that they were wrong. You tormented them psychologically, and they had to lash out. You caused what you are angry about. Now, I'm not letting them off the hook. They should have grown up and realized that that kind of behavior wasn't going to go unnoticed and unpunished by all of you conservative Christians who believe more in punishing your loved ones than in loving them for who they are. You disgust me, quite frankly. I mean, seriously. You pick and choose from the Bible. Sometimes it's the Old Testament when that's convenient for you, even though there's something in the New Testament that overrides it. For example, the murder of people that are LGBTQ. That's Old Testament. In the New Testament, nope, you can't do that. And let's be frank here. The person, or whatever you want to call it, the entity that is responsible for judging people is not you. It is God. God's the only one that has that right. And if somebody wants to be LGBTQ, that is their choice. And if anything bad happens, it's on your head because you have twisted them around. Happened to me. It happened to many other people. And, I'm just quite sick of it. So the fact that now our Attorney General, the idiot Pam Bondi, who's a parrot for Trump, is now engaging in a violation of the separation of church and state by prioritizing the agenda of Project 2025 to protect Christians from all the persecution that you poor little babies deal with. You win again. You always have been winning. But you're never satisfied. You're like Trump. He's never satisfied. He always wants more. You think he cares about you? No, he's just using you to get more and more and more. Do you think that all those visits from dignitaries and Mar-a-Lago and all of those business people at Mar-a-Lago are just social gatherings? No, they're giving him money for favors, which I'm pretty sure is illegal. But he can get away with it because the Supreme Court made it legal for him. He can do anything within his orbit that he wants to. He could invite you to his house and murder you and claim it was official business, and you would go unavenged. You have created a monster. He's got 666 written all over his butt, and you're supporting him. He is destroying our economy. He's screwing up the environment. He's doing all kinds of things that you are going to come to regret. Go and ask somebody who lives near a pig farm about, or any other area where there's a lot of pollution. Ask them about the problems that they have with health in that area compared to other areas. And you'll find out everywhere where regulations against environmental pollution are strong, more people get sick and more people die. It's easy. You put poison in my food and my beverages and my air, and then I die faster and younger. And often it's the poor who are targeted because they can't protect themselves from you rapacious villains. I am so done with this. Please, Canada, take me in. I am asking for asylum. I cannot live in this country. There is no more room in this country for good people who are not Christian. Please, Canada, I'm begging you. I'm asking for asylum.